Hello everybody, this is Kay and welcome to my channel, Junking with Gigi. Before I get started with today's video, I just want to say Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you so much for your support and your subscribing and your liking of my videos this past year. A little over a year since I started my channel. I finally broke 900 subscribers and I'm super excited to reach 1,000. I do have that 1,000 subscriber giveaway journal that I'm going to do a drawing for come that time. If you haven't already been entered into that drawing, all you need to do is watch one of the videos that I have on the making of that, and you'll see, if you look under my playlist, you'll find those in a giveaway playlist. And then subscribe, like, and comment on any one of those videos making that journal and you'll be entered into the drawing. So with all that being said, let's move on with today's video, which is going to be really quick and easy but lots of fun, and that is making paper flowers. I went on a roll making these earlier in the year when my husband and I went on vacation, and he likes to drive, so I brought along a little pouch of things to do, and one of them was cutting out and making these paper flowers. I have a bunch of them. I keep them, after I get them completed, I put them in this candle jar that I have, this old candle jar that I cleaned out, and they just kind of fit perfectly in there. But as you can see, I've made a bunch of them. So we're going to make these today. Super quick, super easy, but lots of fun. So let me clean these off and get my workspace ready. So what you need to make these paper flowers are a variety of scrap pieces of paper, book page. You can see here I've already got a bunch cut into circles, and this consists of scrapbook paper, book page. I've got some vellum pieces here. I've got some tea-dyed papers, a variety of scrapbook papers, and I did have a bunch of book page circles cut out as well, but I think I've used most of those up on flowers already. So you need scraps of paper. You need a means to cut these into circles, and you can do it by hand. You know, I'm not good at cutting out perfect circles, so I don't do it that way, but you may be really good at that kind of thing. I don't know. Or you can trace around an object, like this is my hand cream that I keep here on my desk, and you could trace around the circular lid of that or a glass. But the way I prefer to do my circles is either with punches. And I have a variety of circle punches here. I have a 2-inch, 1.5, 1, 5/8, and this itty bitty one is a 1/2 inch. And then I also have a set of circle die cuts, and I believe I got these on Temu. And they just range in size from about 1 inch all the way up to, it looks like 4 or 5 here. I haven't gone quite that large with my paper flowers, but you certainly can. I think the largest I have done is, I think this one's like 3 inches. Yeah, it's about 3 inches. So you need that. You need a pair of scissors, and you need some brads or some other means to connect them. You could just glue them together in the center, one layer on top of the other, but I've chosen to use brads for mine. I just like, that's easier than trying to put glue on every layer. So you need those. I'm going to grab a pair of scissors, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out 3 or 4 layers for my flower. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to gradually get smaller with my circles. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to go down about a 1/2 inch size to the next. Let me make this a little bit more colorful. Let me find got kind of a little bit of a floral pattern on. I think that was a leftover piece of a digital. And then maybe I'll put, let's see, this little yellow one in the middle. So, and actually I'm going to trade this back one out for a little bit darker color. I like to do it, the layers kind of contrasting too. So there's some kind of a bit darker color for the, yeah, let's use that one. That tea-dyed paper, this one, and let me find something a little brighter for that middle. How about one of these blue ones like that? So those are the layers I'm going to use for my circles. To make your petals, what you're going to do is you're going to take each one of your circles and you're going to fold it in half. You're going to fold it in half again. So you have kind of a ice cream cone shape. And then one more time. So you still have an ice cream cone shape like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. See, I got kind of off on my folding there. It certainly does not have to be perfect because from here, we're going to do our cutting. Now, depending on how you cut this, so you're not going to cut this end. This is the middle of your petal. By folding it 3 times like this, we're going to have a petal. We're going to have 8 petals. Each layer is going to have 8 petals. So what I do is I just kind of randomly start cutting. And on this one, I'm just going to cut up like this, up one side and down the other. I'm going to try to stop about the same spot. And then as you unfold it, you will see you have a flower with 8 petals. Okay, so there's our first layer. I'm going to take this next layer and do the same thing. Fold it in half. Fold that in half. And fold it in half one more time to make your ice cream cone shape. Now I like to kind of change up the shape of my petals a little bit. As you can see here, I went from this just wavy edge to some more defined petals, and this set is similar, but since it's smaller, it looks more contrasting, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So for this next layer, I think I'll just, rather than starting all the way down here and making one similar like that, I think I'll just do a little bit of a wavy cut along the top like that. Okay, and then when you unfold it, you have this. Okay, so that's our next layer. Okay, next layer, same thing, half. Sometimes my paper isn't wanting to be very compliant, but I'll get it. And half again. And I should probably mention that this is much easier done with thinner papers too, rather than cardstocks, because they're easier to fold up. And the smaller your circles are, the harder, they're going to be to fold. So for this one, I think I'll do kind of a pointy. So I'm going to start about halfway down one side and just cut to the top and do the same thing on the other side. So that it comes to a point up there, and then when you unfold it, you have, okay, get hold of it, there we go. You have this. So, get these scraps out of the way. That's our next layer. And so I'm sure you can see that's all there is to this. once you get all your layers done, I'll show you how I mean, you basically just poke a hole through the middle of all of them and put a brad in. So I'll show you that in a second. Let me finish this one. I've got a little container here with a variety of brads in them. So I'm just going to choose one for this flower, and I think I'll just go with a gold one. And the way I like to do my poke my hole is I get a piece of foam. I have a piece of foam that I keep for this type of situation, and I'm just going to line up all my petals, you know, eyeballing it to the middle as close as I can get it. Lay it down, get my pokey tool, otherwise known as an awl, I guess. Poke through all the layers. You can pull it up and go like that a little bit to make my hole a little bit bigger. And get my brad, poke it through there, and voila. Now you could stop there and that would be fine, but what I like to do is I like to take it one step further and do some markings on some of my petals. As you can see on these flowers, that on this one I just put some dots, kind of, that's more subtle. This one's more obvious, the markings that I made, and this one as well. But I have a set of gel pens that I like to use to kind of dress these up a little bit with markings. And I just pulled out a blue and kind of a red here that I thought would go well. I'm actually going to focus on this petal, the tea dyed paper one, because it's kind of the plain looking for this. So I'm basically just going to start, and I think that I'll just do like a little curved marking at the end of each petal all the way around. So I went ahead and I added some more red to that very middle petal too. Sometimes with the markings, I just can't seem to stop. I just get carried away, but see how it really dresses it up, I think, by adding the markings. So I like to do that. So that is all I have for today. As you can see, simple, quick, easy project, but very fun. As far as the shape of the petals go, I just figured out as I was doing it and cutting the petals what the different shapes, how the different shapes would turn out depending on how I cut them. And it'll be the same for you. If you try this project, you'll figure out, you know, if I cut it like this, this is what it's going to look like. So that's just kind of a trial and error deal, but really fun. As you can see, I've got a bunch more circles. I'm going to get these made up and I'll have a ton of paper flowers to dress up my journals with. So again, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and also feel free to share my channel with anybody that you think might be interested in the content I have to offer. Have a blessed day.